Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. This is cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11. Well, let me check the package. Yes, it's 8.5 by 11. And this package I bought from Staples for about $20, but it contains 250 sheets and it comes out to about 8 cents a sheet, so it's really very economical. And I like using it because it's single use. I don't have to wash it and it's readily available. And I like it. I like the ease of use. So I'm going to keep doing my favorite shapes, mushroom shapes. And this is another shape that I like, which is kind of like a clover leaf. And here's another shape that I like. A teardrop shape. Okay, these are very simple shapes, but I want to build a composition starting from these very simple shapes that it can become very complex and sophisticated with very little effort. So I will cut these out with my razor blade. Now I'm cutting this on my cutting mat. It's very good to have. Now if you don't have a cutting mat, you can use a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard. And make sure that your blade is very sharp, because it's safer to work with a very sharp blade than a dull one. Because when you work with a dull blade, there's possibility of you slipping, cutting yourself. And we don't want that. Okay, again, here's the negative shape, and here is the positive shape. Now I'm going to save both of these and I will just keep cutting, and I will be back when everything has been cut out, so don't go away. Okay, I think I have enough to work with. I have all these cutouts, and these are the negative shapes. You have leaf shapes, mushroom shapes, and modified cloverleaf shape. And then I have these positive shapes here. All right. So just put these aside, peel off my cutting board, my cutting mat, and expose my 18 by 24 gel plate. I'm going to place it kind of look like the suites of playing cards. Okay. I'm trying to create a balance between the open spaces and the closed spaces. Okay. So I'm going to use as a first layer Mars Black. This is one of my favorite first layer colors. It's very easy to use. And I'm going to mix it with some burnt sienna. Now instead of rolling it, I will be using a brush. See if I can find the right one. Now I'm just trying to emphasize the brush work because the gel plate is very sensitive and it will pick up all these brush textures, because that's what I'm after. Okay. Now I will just add some marks with my magic wand, which is really a dried stem of an aloe vera plant. It was a gift to me from a friend. And I think the stem creates all these interesting marks. Okay. I'm just going to put this aside for now. And as you can see, the images created by the cardstock are very crisp and clean. There we go. So the next step is to dry these out a little bit, not completely, but just enough that when I put a second layer, it's not going to smear. Okay, it's been a few minutes under the fan. Now, this is Soho Acrylic Cadmium Orange Deep. Now, this is the brightest color in the lot. So I'm just going to add it for highlights. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Okay. And then as a pickup color, this is Acrylic Chrome Orange. Just give it a good shake. And what I'm hoping is that the red is going to contrast well with the black. I'm going to use a bigger brayer, 3-inch brayer, and just make sure it's not squeaky. I'm just trying to even out the paint. So it will have an even coverage. Let's wipe this. Here is my Richardson watercolor paper, 22 by 30, 135 pound, and this is very economical paper, but it's good paper, 100% acid free. It's one of the more economical papers on the market, because I find that other papers can get really expensive, as much as $5 to $6 a sheet. This comes out to about $1.20 a sheet, because I buy it in bulk. I buy like 100 sheets at a time, and it comes out cheaper. Now, if you don't want to buy that many pieces of paper, you can try buying like watercolor blocks. They look like sketch pads, and they are more economical to use if you figure out the price per page. That's how I compute the cost of paper, because everything adds up. So you have to choose wisely. Okay. So I will leave this on as usual for about 6 minutes, and I will be right back. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes. This is really exciting. See how we made out here. Oh, I think we have a good transfer. I think the brush strokes show up very nicely. Okay. Check this out. All right, so I need to air dry this, and I am contemplating a third layer. So I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, here I am at the next segment of this video. I'm deciding to use a metallic color, bronze. Let me show you. This is Soho acrylic bronze. I think it will go well with the black and the red. Now here's my plastic tub, and I'm going to mix. I'm not going to use it straight on. I will mix it with some matte medium to make it a little more transparent, maybe like a tablespoon. And once more, I will be using a brush. It has the consistency of yogurt. Now, when you are doing monoprinting, it's best to keep the consistency of the paint a little on the thick side, not too watery, because if the paint is too watery or too thin, it's not going to show up that well. So I'm going to just dab into the open spaces. Sometimes you get these coagulated bits. I have to take them out, because even if it's coming from a bottle or a tube, it tends to dry out sometimes, especially if it's been sitting on a shelf for a while. Open spots more easily and avoid the closed areas. Okay. Just make sure I didn't miss any. Just going to do a little cleanup. There's some over. So here is the first layer. I'm applying a really firm pressure with my hand because I do want the last layer to take Okay, be back in about 5-6 minutes. Okay, here is the moment of truth. Let's see how we made out here. I think it's a very cool result. I can tell from the first few inches in the corner. And it's a big difference if you use a brush instead of a brayer. It has the feel of an oil painting. Right. It's a little smearing on the edge, but that's okay. Very cool. It's a nice sequel to the green print in the previous video. So I will air dry this and do a recap. So I will be right back. Don't go away. Okay, here is my favorite part of this video where I do a recap and I get to show you the finished print. This has dried very beautifully, and here is a close-up. And I do like the shine of the metallic bronze against the black and the red. And I do like the brush strokes. can see when I shift the angle of the paper, the metallic shine really comes through. Okay, there you have it, my big red monoprint. And thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Please do pay a visit to artwhisper88.com, which is my storefront, and any sales or donations will help to keep this channel going. So thank you, and I do hope to see you next time.